Good evening. Would everybody please take your seats? 7 o'clock p.m. We have a nice crowd here tonight, so please make sure you turn all your cell phones off. 7 o'clock p.m. I will now bring the City of Homestead City Council meeting to order. We will have the call to order and invocation and pledge of allegiance with the Bishop Charlie Williams from the House of God Pentecostal Church. Welcome. And the pledge of allegiance with Police Explorers and Councilman Nelson. Please stand with me.
Shall we pray?
We shall.
Our Father in heaven, we come before thy throne of grace, thy throne of mercy. We come to see and seeking a God of mercy. You are our Father, and we are your children, and we are in need of your help. And after all, we are dependent beings. Lord, we are leaning and we are dependent on you. Lord, you said in Proverbs 3:6, in all our ways, acknowledge you, and you shall direct our paths. We need your leadance and your guidance. Look on the commissions tonight, oh God, the mayor and the councilmen that is sitting on, as they lay over the business of the city of Homestead. Lead them and guide them, lower them down in our storehouse of wisdom, crown them with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that they need so desperately. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Please join me in pledging allegiance to our nation's flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order arms. Right face. Forward march.
Thank you. You may be seated. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Bell?
Here.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Here.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Here.
Councilman McCormick?
Here.
Councilman Nelson?
Here.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Here.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Here. Thank you very much. Special presentations. Councilwoman Lobos and Councilwoman Sierra.
Good evening, everybody. Mayor Bell, may you join us, please? On Monday, March 9, 2009, the Honorable Mara Diaz-Balart of the House of Representatives presented the following onto the floor of Congress in commemoration of Women's History Month, which is March. So, Councilwoman Sierra and I are going to now read it into record in a presentation to Mayor Bell. It reads, Monday, March 9, 2009. Madam Speaker, I rise today to honor a remarkable woman and friend from Florida's 25th District, Mayor Linda Bell of the City of Homestead. She was elected mayor in November 2007 and serves as Homestead's first woman mayor in the city's 94-year history. Prior to this accomplishment, she served 4 years on the City Council from 2003 to 2007 and was vice mayor for 2 years. Born in Hollywood, Florida, Mayor Bell was raised in South Florida and attended Miami-Dade College. She has been a resident of Homestead since 1979 and understands the needs of the diverse community she represents. She has a strong personal belief in volunteerism and service and is completely dedicated to our community. What most stands out about Mayor Bell is the energy she puts into her work. Her positive attitude is what enables her to get things done and encourages others to join her in working towards achieving the goals she has laid out for the City of Homestead.
In 2004, Mayor Bell was chosen as the recipient of the Athena Award from the Greater Homestead Florida City Chamber of Commerce and was a finalist for the Florida League of City Councilperson of the Year Award in 2007. In addition to putting the needs of our community first, Mayor Bell also makes life at home a priority as a dedicated wife to her husband Mark and a loving mother and grandmother to 3 children and 7 grandchildren. Mayor Linda Bell exemplifies the true meaning of public service and does so by always prioritizing the needs of others first. As we celebrate Women's History Month, I ask you to join me in congratulating Mayor Linda Bell for her invaluable service and contributions to her community. Well, I would really like to thank Congressman Mario Diaz-Balart, and thank you as well. This is something else. To be read on the floor of the House of Congress. I just want to thank him so much. Thank you for presenting this to me. This is very special to me. I really do appreciate it very much. It means a lot. Thank you. Thank you again. The next recognition is for the sponsors of the 5K Hearts and Souls Run Walk. So that's my absolute pleasure. Thank you, Sheila. I would like to announce, and I'm going to announce them in order. Thank you, Mr. Manager. On the platinum level, and let me tell you, first of all, how much we do appreciate. I cannot believe how much money was raised for our SOS, Department SOS. What a blessing to the City of Homestead, and basically what a blessing to all the clients of SOS, Weed and Seed, and on, and what a great job you all do, and how much we do appreciate everything that you do. You really don't know how many lives you impact and how many lives you touch. So to the sponsors, we thank you in advance. Cabaret Services, please come forth if you're here. City of Homestead Energy Services. Come on. City of Homestead Parks, Recreation, Water, and Sewer. Come on, Julio or Robert. City of Homestead Public Works and Services. William F. Brantley, Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge 13. That's our platinum level sponsors. Let's give them a round of applause. Did you want a picture all together when we're finished? Okay. Stay right there. Next level, gold sponsorship, PBS&J. Please come forward. HSQ Group. City of Homestead Community Redevelopment Agency. And those are the gold sponsors. Let's give them a hand. We also have silver, the Wren Group. Come on down, Jose. Homestead Miami Speedway. Best Buy. Baptist Health of South Florida. Sipin and Sipin, Attorneys at Law. Rodriguez and Quiroga, Architects. And let me announce the sponsors who were not available tonight. Downright, thank you very much, they're a platinum sponsor. Gold, the Gayaka Group, SDI Quarry, CH2M Hill, City of Homestead. Silver Level, Seltzer and Associates. Progress Energy Services, Nancy Phillips and Associates. Rodriguez Quiroga Architects, and Hazen and Sawyer. And I just want everybody to give all of these people a wonderful round of applause.
Mayor, council members, everybody here, I want to thank all the people who participated. I know these are the team sponsors, but there's lots of people who participated in the event. I'd like to recognize the ladies who were behind this event, Sandy and Robin. I always have, I forget your name. And I know there's other people from SOS and Weed and Seed. Please stand up. Joanna Fadis. And I also want to recognize everybody in the police department. We had an excess of 60 police officers who volunteered their time for free to just make sure the events run smooth. And of course, I thank everybody in the community who participated and make sure this event was a success. I thank you all. Just to give you the good news, this is our first event, and we raised in excess of $55,000 for this good cause. Thank you. Make sure, team sponsors, make sure you're going to be registering next year. We may raise the level. People who participated in the event, please make sure you keep watching, because we are going to have it as an annual thing. And it's going to be always in the first weekend of February, and we know the story of the reason we call it Hearts and Souls. It's actually there's a relationship between giving and opening your heart, and also for the Valentine. So please keep it in mind and remember it next year. Thank you.
Please come up front.
It's always tempting to do something that's good.
Thank you very much. Officer of the Month for January 2009 presentation, Officer Giovanni Soto and Councilman Nelson.
Thank you. Madam Mayor, Mr. Vice Mayor, Council, Mr. City Manager, please roll. Major Kennedy, Captain Chong, Captain Kent. Good evening, everyone. I am Captain Angela Washington with the Homestead Police Department, and on behalf of our Awards Committee, I am here to present to you the Officer of the Month recipient for January 2009, Officer Giovanni Soto. Officer Soto began his career with the Homestead Police Department as a reserve officer in October 2005. Almost 2 years after that, he was hired full-time and has since been nothing but a credit to the department and to the entire law enforcement profession. Over the past several months, Officer Soto has shown an exceptional ability to investigate beyond the obvious. In doing so, Officer Soto has been nominated for Officer of the Month for 2 months in a row, and he continues to be very productive on the afternoon shift, making a great impact on crime within our community. In January, Officer Soto made 11 arrests, 2 of which were felonies, handled 68 calls for service, wrote 47 reports, self-initiated 37 calls, issued 11 traffic citations, and wrote 10 field interview cards. I would also like to share with you some of his other accomplishments during the month of January. On January 3rd, 2009, Officer Soto, while in uniform, took the initiative to conduct surveillance on foot and in his marked patrol vehicle in an area known for robberies. During the surveillance, Officer Soto identified 4 subjects that he believed were pacing the area for a victim to rob. Officer Soto alerted other patrol units via the police radio and had units strategically stage themselves to stop the subjects. Officer Soto, backed up by other officers, confronted the subjects in the alleyway where they had attempted to conceal themselves from the officers. As the subjects complied with Officer Soto's instructions to reveal themselves, one of the subjects was observed discarding a knife. Once the knife was retrieved and secured, the subjects were separated for questioning. During the questioning, all 4 subjects gave the conflicting stories to their activities in the area. Officer Soto continued to interview the subjects using the conflicting information that was given to him to confront the other subjects. After a very skillful interview, one of the subjects admitted to Officer Soto that they had been in the area to rob a Chico. The 4 subjects were arrested and charged with loitering and prowling. On January 22nd, while patrolling another high-crime area known for robberies and burglaries, Officer Soto observed a subject acting suspiciously upon the subject seeing Officer Soto approach him in his marked police vehicle. He fled on foot, and backup officers responded immediately. The subject was quickly located, and after questioning the subject, he failed to dispel Officer Soto's alarm for life and property in the immediate area, and the subject was also arrested for loitering and prowling. In addition to his own arrest, on January 24th, Officer Soto was instrumental in the arrest of 3 robbery subjects. While working a robbery detail in plain clothes, Officer Soto observed 3 subjects walking in the dark between houses. Seconds later, Officer Soto observed a robbery victim with serious facial injuries stumble out of some bushes. Believing this to be a robbery that had just occurred, Officer Soto quickly advised of his observations on the police radio so that uniformed officers could begin saturating the area. Officer Soto then checked on the victim's well-being and confirmed that he had just been robbed. A perimeter was established and K-9 units began a search. One of the K-9 units located 2 of the 3 subjects hiding, and the 2 of them fled. Officer Soto cut off their escape route and took both robbery subjects into custody. The 3rd subject was located and taken into custody a short time later. All 3 subjects were charged with robbery. The majority of Officer Soto's arrests during the month of January were from self-initiated activities while conducting area checks and subject checks in high-crime areas. In addition to the above chronological arrests, Officer Soto made several bench warrant and drug arrests resulting from these subject checks. Clearly, Officer Soto has developed a proactive approach to fighting crime within the city of Homestead. His style of policing had made him consistently one of the top producers on the afternoon shift. In recognition of his proactive style, Officer Soto is often chosen for robbery details that are conducted on the afternoon shift. These details involve putting officers assigned to uniform patrol in an undercover capacity in areas known for robberies. Officer Soto is a young officer at the beginning of his career. He has impressed his supervisors with his superb job performance, including his diligence, reliability, and determination to conduct thorough investigations to solve all cases in which he is involved. His supervisors are also confident that Officer Soto's proactive determination to take the hardened criminals off the streets of Homestead demonstrates his commitment to bringing subjects to justice. Officer Soto has developed a knack for patrolling the high-crime areas in his patrol car as well as on foot, consistently searching for criminal activities of all types. It is this kind of dedication and steady work ethics that will certainly lay a solid foundation for Officer Soto's developing career. Officer Soto, you are to be commended for your hard work, exceptional stats, and developing a proactive style for fighting crime in our community. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me while we celebrate another one of Homestead's finest for being selected for Officer of the Month for the month of January 2009.
On behalf of the mayor, vice mayor, and council, it's my honor to give you this plaque. And it reads, presented to Officer Giovanni Soto for being selected Officer of the Month, January 2009.
Thank you.
Thank you. Along with the plaque comes an award packet from the local businesses of Homestead. Awards Incorporated donated the plaque. City Attorney Weiss, Sirota, and Huffman donated $100. First National Bank of South Florida, $50 savings bond. Community Bank of Florida, $50 savings bond. Ferguson's Jeweler, $75 gift certificate. Broadway Sub, two $10 gift certificates. Havana Joe Cigar, $25 gift certificate. Creative Threads on 505 North Chrome, a free off-duty polo shirt. Blake Chevrolet of Homestead, a $300 value lube, oil, filter, and car detailing. Captain Car Wash, $20 value car wash. Mita Jensen, 2 memberships for the Homestead Community Concerts. Dinner for 2 at Maya's Creole Cafe. And McLean's Florist, a $30 gift certificate. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the city mayor, vice mayor, council, and the city manager for this award. I also want to take the time to thank the supervisors that I work under, the officers that I work with. If it wasn't for them, this wouldn't be possible. They'll play an important part to all of this. Especially want to give thanks to the chief, Major Kennedy, for offering me the opportunity of being here. And last but not least, my wife, for her support, patience. She's been through it with a lot. And especially Major Officer of the Year, Brian Kennedy. I want to be like him when I grow up. But thank you again.
By the way, Officer Soto, I'm watching Brian back there waving for you to recognize him.
He was reminding me.
Yeah, yes, so don't, I just want everybody in the audience to know that Brian was waving to be recognized.
Thank you again. Appreciate it.
Thank you and congratulations. Next on the agenda, we have the Do the Right Thing Award presentation, Homestead Middle School, with Councilwoman Sierra.
Good evening. I would like to invite three gentlemen to join me up here. I have a Mr. Herrera, Mr. Nunez, and Mr. Smith. If you guys can please join me up here. Now, I say gentlemen because these three boys, students of Homestead Middle School, have received the Do the Right Thing Award. Many times we listen and we hear and give awards to students that have the best grades and have done all these achievements, but to me this is one of the most important things because as many of us in this room can remember, middle school is a very hard time to choose the right thing to do. And these three gentlemen, and we have Mr. Herrera is in the middle, right? Nope, that gentleman right there. And then Mr. Nunez and Mr. Smith, and I'm going to read a little bit about them and what makes them so special. Mr. Herrera, 6th grade student at Homestead Middle School. Christopher is one student who really stands out amongst the rest. Not only does he worry about getting a good education, he is also an active part of the inner workings of the school. He joined the Parent-Teacher-Student Association. Through this organization, student members are a critical asset in making the school flow smoothly. Christopher realizes the advantages and benefits of joining the group and the importance of being a team player. Even more so, he believes in the importance of giving back to the community. Christopher gets up early and joins Habitat for Humanity in building houses for needy families. Helping others is central in his life. Thank you, Christopher. Smile, boys, it's okay. Mr. Nunez, in the center. Alex barely has any time for himself. He works hard to maintain good grades and goes home every day after school to help take care of his younger brother until his mom and dad get home from work. They work long hours and often get home after dark. Alex donates his time to the open house ministry as well as tutors elementary school students in kindergarten through 5th grade with their homework 4 days a week. Alex is a true role model to these younger students and says it's a good feeling to be able to help them. He knows from his own experience that parents often get off work late and don't have time to give the assistance needed. Alex is currently in advanced reading and language arts as well as in the comprehensive reading block every morning. Thank you, Alex. They do smile. I saw them smiling earlier. Now we have Mr. Smith here. He puts forth maximum effort in everything he does and always holds himself to high standards. His academics are excellent, and anytime he misses a class due to illness or field trip, he seeks out his teachers for makeup work and homework. He is very well liked and respected by his teachers, administration, and peers. He is always eager to help his classmates when they are struggling and never has a bad word to say about anyone. He went through a traumatic time not long ago. And, however, he did not let this traumatic time affect him. He picked right up the pieces of his life and went on. He likes to donate his free time to his church and to the elderly. And on weekends, he visits residents of the Homestead Manor Retirement Home. Thank you very much. I would like to also congratulate and recognize their parents and guardians who are here this evening. If you can please stand. As I said earlier, many times when it comes to educating our children in middle school, it is hard, and obviously you have done something right when your children have decided to do the right thing, and I thank you very much for that.
Congratulations. And definitely congratulations to those parents. And Councilwoman Sierra, thank you for recognizing their parents. Lowe's one-year update by Marco Valverde, store manager, with Councilwoman Lobos.
Thank you, Mayor Bell. Good evening, everybody. I don't know if you can tell who Marco Valverde is among the audience here. Good, thank you, sir. Good to see you again. And this was one of the first stores that we did the ribbon cutting after being elected in November of 2007. And can you believe that a little bit over a year has gone by already since they opened here in Homestead? And so I ran into him, as I often just run into Lowe's to pick up a couple of things, and he wanted to come back to the community and give an update, a one-year update as to where Lowe's is, and maybe some discounts. You bring some coupons with you? That's what always makes you a popular guy.
So I was going to ask.
Okay. Mr. Valverde.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Madam Mayor and Vice Mayor and members of the City Council, and the community. On behalf of Lowe's, I would like to thank you for letting me come here and give you an update of what we've been doing. And want to thank you for the tremendous support that we've gotten from the community, from the city government. It's great when I had to call Councilwoman Lobos the other day, and she said, "Oh, I'm right here in your store. Where are you at so we can talk?" And it really means a lot, especially in times like this, and the support that we feel from members of the different city agencies. Also, we opened a little over a year ago with 150 positions in the store. 135 were from right here, Homestead residents who were not employed by Lowe's. I think the first 2 weeks that we opened up for applications, we received 1,500 applications from this area. So we had 135 jobs that we were able to give to the community. 15 were existing Lowe's associates, but some of them lived in Homestead and they had to travel outside of Homestead, some as far as Oakland Park Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale, to go to work for Lowe's, and now they're working here. From the new positions that we have, about some of them were part-time, and currently 18 of our staff started out as part-time associates. They now have full-time positions, along with all the benefits that entailed, and quite a few of our new Lowe's associates that we recruited from Homestead have now moved into assistant department manager positions and into management in the store. So we have had a lot of success there. During the past year, as we have gotten to know the community, we got involved with a couple of organizations here that we feel they provide a tremendous service. One of them being the Homestead Job Corps Center, which we believe strongly in the job that they do, preparing these young people to go out with the appropriate skills to go out and get jobs and provide services. And what we did for with the Homestead Job Corps Center was provide customer service classes and training, and explain to the students what employers look for before and after the hiring process to help them. Give them tools that will help them succeed when they get out and complete their studies and get into the workforce. Another organization that we get to know and we have all the respect in the world for is the Good Hope Equestrian Center, whom they approached us at the beginning because they needed to, what they do, I should tell you, if you're not familiar, they primarily use horses as a form of therapy for individuals with severe disabilities, many of whom are Homestead residents. And they approached us and they needed to refurbish the stables, and we provided the materials so they could do that. Later on, when we learned that they were receiving some cuts in their funding and they needed to curtail their horse therapy, 20 of our associates donated their time, and Lowe's donated the materials for us to build a garden for them, which their participants can now use to learn how to care, for plants and grow, and as part of their curriculum now, and they can actually grow their own vegetables and fruits, and that has certainly helped them, and we've really, I've learned a lot by working with the participants that they have there and the staff of the Good Hope Equestrian Center. Like I said, we have all the respect in the world for the work that they do, and it's been very rewarding for us to get involved with those two organizations. As we go on, we hope to get to know other organizations, and hopefully we can also be some form of assistance and learn from them as well. Our current situation, Lowe's, being a home improvement operation, we depend greatly on construction and real estate transactions, two areas that have been hit very, very hard. So it has certainly been challenging. And we would like the community to understand that, or what we would like to communicate is, we realize that we're new in town, and maybe we're not as well known as our competitors, but when you go out and you have to shop in something related to home improvement, we realize there is a choice. You can shop with us right here in town, or you can go right across the city line to whatever maybe you've been shopping for the last several years.
And that city line would mean that the other store is in Florida City, correct?
I believe that's
correct. Let's take note of that. That's right. Okay. Or Miami-Dade County, but Lowe's is where? In Homestead. Thank you.
So your support is more crucial, is now more than ever, and that your support during this time, it can really translate into more of those part-time jobs being converted into full-time jobs for, or the addition of our staff. It really makes a tremendous difference, and by you supporting Lowe's here in Homestead, you're not giving anything up. One of the perceptions that I would like to clarify or correct, and for those that may have it, but I do hear a lot, there is a perception that maybe Lowe's might have higher prices than our competitors, and I'm here to assure you that that is not the case. We operate under a low price guarantee. We have full-time Lowe's employees that all they do is they shop our competitors to make sure that our prices are not any higher than our competition. And when that is identified, if that does happen, not only will we give you that lower price, but we'll take an additional 10% off that lower price. So you're certainly not giving up anything by shopping with us. What you will find is you're going to have a beautiful store with very friendly and happy Homestead residents that are ready to serve you, and like I said, we really appreciate. It really warms our hearts when we see certainly city government, city agencies, and the community shopping in our stores. So we really want to thank you for your support. Looking forward to this second year, and just continue to have a better communication and with our community, and thank you for making us feel so welcome here during our first year. Thank you.
Mr. Manager.
Mayor, council members, since we have the gentleman here from Lowe's, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank them for community participations. I know in the past we had some events, and they contributed very generously towards them, and they were represented by their attorney Lila Batiste, and I never had the opportunity to meet any of the managers, even though I knew of Steve when you guys opened there. But I thank you very much for caring about the community.
Thank you very much, Mr. Manager. Thank you, Mr. Valverde. We really do appreciate it. And actually, that was my very first board cutting. It wasn't ribbon cutting, it was a board cutting. So. Next on the agenda, we have Ms. Homestead, Brittany Barones, report on her platform, and Councilwoman Waldman. Please come forth, and congratulations.
Evelyn, Mary Jane, please come forward. No? They know I'm going to make them say something. It's my great, first of all, let me introduce to you Ms. Evelyn McClain and Ms. Mary Jane Trent. They are, Evelyn is the new director of Ms. Homestead, and Mary Jane has just been involved for years and years, and she probably has a title. Volunteer.
My wardrobe.
Could you at least stand up? They're my dear friends. talk to them like that. It's my distinct honor to introduce to you Ms. Brittany Barones. She is our new Miss Homestead. And would you like to talk a little bit about the pageant itself and the, I was going to ask Evelyn to do that, but since Evelyn will not get out of the chair, we'll leave that to Miss Brittany.
No problem. Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brittany Barones, and yes, it's been such an honor to have been crowned Miss Homestead 2009. I'm really excited to be representing Homestead at the Miss Florida pageant this year. It's definitely been a really an amazing experience so far for me. My platform is using music to benefit children with autism, and basically it's to help children who have learning disabilities such as autism, and to help bring out their inner star and through music, and help them to create other avenues and outlets for themselves in order to explore, you know, and find their hidden talent. So let's see, I am Mexican American. I was born here in Homestead, Florida. I attended New World School of the Arts. I graduated in 2007, majoring in musical theater. I am now currently enrolled at Miami-Dade College, where I'm majoring in business administration. I'm also minoring in musical theater. Music is my passion. That's also, you know, my talent from Miss Florida. And well, I look forward to making you all proud. And I want to give thanks to the city for their support. And yes, hope to make you guys proud. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
As many of you know, I have a grandson with autism, and I didn't even know what Brittany's program was, the platform was, until I attended Miss Homestead. But I have to say that, and I'm not as well versed on this as the others are, but Miss Homestead is a pageant that's directed under the Miss America, and the monies go to scholarships. And if it wasn't for the scholarship money that's raised in the Miss Homestead, Miss America, Miss City around the world, around the United States, many young women would not have an opportunity to go to college. And that's one of the reasons why our Miss Homestead did this, so that she could continue her education. Her uncle also served as a councilman for the city for many years, Mr. Eddie Barones, and so we have a lot in common. But thank you so much, Brittany.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you, Councilwoman Waldman, and congratulations, Brittany. Stay right there. Art South update by Rosa Brito, Executive Director of Art South. Come on up, Rosa.
Yes, thank you for introducing her. When Mayor Bell gave me the assignment of being liaison to both Art South and to Seminole Theater, it was my great honor to get to meet Rosa. She's just done wonderful things for Art South. I've recently been attending her board meetings, and I missed one meeting because of the family emergency, and I ended up on the fundraising committee, so that's okay. That's okay.
We put you on there.
Yes, but I'd asked Rosa to come this month, and we're going to have Seminole Theater here next month. But I just wanted them to tell you a little bit about our organization and the programs that are going on now and that will be coming up in the summer and in the spring. It's important that we do this, as Mayor Bell said when she assigned me the committee, well, not the committee, but the liaison to Art South and to Seminole Theater, because we give money from city funds to these two non-for-profits. So, Rosa, please give us an update.
Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the Council, and City Manager. I am Rosa Brito, Director of Art South. I'm here at your request this evening to give you a brief update on our recent programs at Art South, as we do receive a portion of the organization's funding from the City of Homestead, programs such as the CRA. Without your support, we wouldn't be able to bring the arts to this community. So I thank you very much. During the past 11 months since accepting the position of Executive Director, Art South has again become a showpiece in historic district of Homestead. Artist studios and art galleries have been a tremendous increase in demand, and there is a greater public awareness of all that Art South has to offer as a community resource. Art South wants to play a larger role in bringing culture, experience, and education to Homestead. We are currently working with the Chamber of Commerce to produce art for Losner Park, and we are also participating with the CRA Music in the Park events. We continue the service learning program with area schools teaching students art. Currently, we have MacArthur High School, Homestead Senior High, and South Dade Senior High participating in that program. An after-school program for drama began earlier this month for area children ages 10 to 18. We currently have 29 students enrolled in this program, and it takes place between 4 to 6 p.m. each Tuesday and Thursday. The program is taught by professional actors affiliated with the South Florida-based acting group Ground Up and Rising. Shortly after, the after-school completes a summer program for both visual and performing arts will begin in June. Conversion of the former First Baptist Church into a professional performance space will be completed prior to our first show in April. There will be additional shows in May and June. The space will be used to facilitate the Summer Performing Arts Camp and will feature a show by the students and teachers at the end of that program. We should be hitting the ground up and running for this coming fall and winter performing arts season, and thanks to the efforts of the generous contributors and dedicated group of volunteers, we have attracted the attention of the Miami Visitors and Convention Bureau, the performing arts community in South Florida, including professional acting companies, community theater companies, and area performing arts students. Future collaborations also include interested parties from the Upper Keys, as they have no permanent performing arts center and are limited to what they can do with the facilities in the Monroe County school system has to offer, which is not frequently available. Future collaboration plans also include programs affiliated with the South Dade Cultural Arts Center, which I just recently met with Director Eric Fliss, and we're working on an educational program that will bring our students to the Performing Arts Center for performances when the actual facility is completed. This month we are hosting a quilt exhibit that runs through April 4th, and on April 11th at Art South, second Saturday. I hope you can join us. Art South will be celebrating its 8th anniversary. We appreciate the continued support the City of Homestead and the Mayor and Council provide us each and every year. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosa. You guys do a fabulous job.
Yes, thank you so much. And I also wanted to say thank you to some of the, I want to name names, some of the local businesses that sponsor some of the programs with food and drink.
Yeah, one sponsor that I can't forget is the Capri Restaurant. Each and every year, I think for the past 4 years, provide lunches for the service learning program that goes on when school begins in October through May of each year. That's a partner that has been so valuable to us, and I'd like to thank them.
Thank you very much.
Rosa. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
By the way, Rosa does a great job. I've been over there many times, and when you see the kids over there who go from MacArthur South into the service learning program at Art South, it's really amazing what they do with those kids, and many, many other programs there, and you have to go there to really see it to believe it. Thank you, Rosa, for what you do. Thank you. You know, I always say that when you have a lot of artsy people, you know, artsy people are very creative, they're very clever, but sometimes not terribly organized, so you need a Rosa. You need a Rosa Brito to help the artsy people do what they do well, and she does what she does well. Thank you. I noticed that we have some comments on the consent agenda, so what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda before I open the floor. I move. I'll second. The consent agenda has been properly moved and seconded. We have an Audrey Ordness who wanted to speak under tab 8 from Shores Development on the lake restoration and dredging. Audrey, would you please step forward? You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mayor and Vice Mayor and council members. I appreciate the opportunity to speak on a consent agenda item, and we'll be brief in the comments. On behalf of, state my name, Audrey Ordonez, on behalf of Shores Development, 1740 Southwest 31st Avenue, Miami, Florida, 33145. On behalf of Shores Development, we object to the passage of tab 8, specifically relating to the purchase of the fill, which we believe is prejudicial towards Shores Development and creates an automatic breach of Shores Development contractual obligations with third parties. It also further exasperates an already tainted lawsuit in which the city is a party. We've tried in good faith to resolve the issue without litigation. Doesn't seem that that's going to happen, as you're aware. We share in the city's desire to minimize taxpayer expenses associated with this issue. We do understand that you want to remedy your situation with Durham and want to get this lake excavated. Unfortunately, we don't believe that passing this item will get you to where you want to be, and it will only further the litigation, and really the only beneficiaries will be the lawyers with the billable hours. So I appreciate the opportunity to speak, and thank you.
Well, Audrey, it's very encouraging to know that Shores Development is concerned about the financial welfare of the city of Homestead. Mr. Weiss, do you have any comments?
As the representative said, we are in litigation on this, so I just prefer that you refrain from commenting, but the comments are noted for the record.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I wanted to pull out, we have an item that I thought would bear some mentioning, tab 13, and since we have Homestead's finest here, I thought they might want to address tab 13, Police Chief Employment Agreement, and we heartily support that, Chief. We're so glad that we've got you for at least another 2 years, and we're going to keep... How could I have let this beautiful moment go by without recognizing our Chief of Police and just letting this go with a vote under the consent agenda? Chief, it's a pleasure to pass this evening, and everybody, it's unanimous and in support. We are so glad to have you for another 2 years, and as long as I'm around, I hope you'll stay with me as well. Mr. Manager?
Mayor, council members, everybody in attendance, and entire community. I can tell you this is the first task I had to deal with when I became a city manager. It's who's going to be running the police department, and I can tell you I did not waste a minute looking outside to replace the chief. I looked with the, and this is under the direction of the city council, the leadership on city council. With the capable attorneys here, we find ways to keep the police chief as a police chief. Chief, I'm honored to call you a colleague and a friend, and I'm glad we find ways to keep you. Also, I'd like to say, we find a way to keep Major Kennedy, Captain Chung, and also Ed Bo. So I am really honored. And I also echo what the mayor said. Chief, I know the contract is for 2 years, and I gave you a commitment as long as you want to stay, as long as I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And let's have a vote before we let the chief speak. On this consent agenda, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes carry. Thank you very much on the entire consent agenda. Congratulations on tab 13. Chief, did you want to say a word?
Just a few words. I I don't know what to say. I was first time in my life. I think I was speechless, and it's kind of weird, but being a black man, I think I changed colors a couple times.
I did see you blush.
Wow, it's unbelievable. I never thought it could happen, but it did. But again, I want to thank the mayor and the council, obviously, for supporting the contract, and city manager for putting it in place. It's been a long time, and I've dedicated my entire career with the city of Homestead, and I really appreciate everything that you all have done for me here tonight. Last but not least, and I'm going to make this brief because I don't want to take up this is not my night, but it is my night. But I want to thank all of my colleagues, especially my command staff, Captain Chong, Major Kennedy, Captain Washington, Captain Bowe, Captain Kent. I couldn't do it without these people. And last but not least, just the entire Uniform Patrol, the Detective Division, the administrative staff, my Carmen, my right hand, everybody's here tonight. I really appreciate all you all being here. It means so much, because it just goes to show you how close we are as a police department. We're more like a family, and I would never work anywhere else other than Homestead PD, because this is, in my opinion, this is the top of the line. Prima donna. I don't know what to even say, but this is just awesome. SOS. You guys are wonderful. Again, I just enjoy this, and I really appreciate it. And like I said, it's not a one-man show. Everybody here has definitely shown me a lot of love, and all I can do is show the love back. So again, from the mayor and council, Mike Shahada, the city manager, my people, I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
My colleagues, thank you all very much.
Thank you. We will now move on to
Mayor,
public...
Mayor,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No
We're
problem.
at 11?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, we have another item, Southwest Advisory Committee Scholarship Application.
Yes, let me let it clear out a little bit.
I should have done it first. Got it. Councilman McCormick, under tab 11.
Yes, ma'am. This is the Southwest Scholarship application form. This scholarship was created on behalf of the Southwest Advisory Committee, along with myself, to assist four seniors that will be going to college in the upcoming fall season for college. And what this scholarship funds does is it helps with the preliminary cost of going to college, some initial expenses as far as books and tuition. Like I said, it's 4 scholarships. It's a total of $500 a piece. And how it's broke down in sections where it's 2 scholarships that will be awarded to residents from the Southwest, from the Southwest boundaries, and also 2 outside of the Southwest boundaries, which encompass the Northwest area, Keys Gate, Lakeshore, and those areas there. This scholarship is a one-time fee, and I think it's very instrumental in helping those who might not be able to afford those initial expenses. Sometimes you get scholarships to assist them, but this right here, it goes a little further than academic scholarships. So with the approval of the mayor and the council, I would like to see if we can get this passed.
Well, Councilman McCormick, it has been approved, and I want to congratulate you on really, I know it's become a saying, but to think outside the box. This is such a great idea, and the fact that your funds are coming from outside sources and that you're going to be tapping outside, I want to congratulate you on all of your work, and of course we're going to talk about at the end of the council meeting your great work in the Southwest, your cleanup day, everything that you're doing. I'm really impressed, and I want to thank you for your ideas.
I thank you. And again, we're soliciting donations from our local businesses, and I can't leave that part out. And if you have any donations that you want to contribute, you can email me, and we'll set up a way for me to pick it up, and it'll be in a fund until the kids are getting ready to go off to school. So, my email address, you can get it through the city website. And once again, I appreciate everyone for their support and their efforts in helping with the scholarship fund. So thank everyone.
Thank you, Councilman McCormick. And then item G, support for school funding request from the Florida Legislature, tab 16, Councilwoman Sierra, did you have any comment on that?
I just wanted to make one brief comment. This is a resolution that was passed by our city. What we are doing is joining forces with other municipalities in Miami-Dade County and sending a message to the Florida Legislature to please stop cutting the funding for our schools in Miami-Dade County. It was a request done by our school board, and we complied, just as many other cities within the district are doing as well. And I just wanted to make everybody aware that, education is key, and we are doing everything that we can to make sure that we have the best quality choices here in the city of Homestead. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman Sierra, and thank you for your work with the Education Committee. It's just fantastic. Thank you. Thank you very much. We now have public hearings, ordinances, land use items, et cetera. I think our
Yes.
James.
This is a quasi-judicial section of your agenda. Please be advised the following items on the agenda are quasi-judicial in nature. If you wish to comment upon these items, please indicate the item number you would like to address when the announcement regarding the quasi-judicial item is made. An opportunity for persons to speak on each item will be made available after the applicant and staff have made their presentations on each item. Swearing in. All testimony, including public testimony and evidence, will be made under oath or affirmation. Additionally, each person who gives testimony may be subject to cross-examination. If you do not wish to be either cross-examined or sworn, your testimony will be given its due weight. The general public will not be permitted to cross-examine witnesses, but the public may request the council to ask questions of staff or witnesses on their behalf. The full agenda packet on each item is hereby entered into the record. Persons representing organizations must present evidence for their authority to speak for the organization, and further details of the quasi-judicial procedures may be obtained from the clerk. In accordance with Code Section 2-591, any lobbyist must register before addressing the council on any of the following items. At this time, council members must disclose any ex parte communications concerning any of the items on the agenda. Hearing none at this time, the clerk will swear in any persons who wish to testify on any of the following quasi-judicial items.
Please stand and raise your right hand. I state your name. Hereby swear or affirm that the information I present shall be the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Thank you.
Yes, to your first item, item A, tab 20, it's the first reading of an ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, considering the request of Roberta Burrows and Donna Crouch for a rezoning from single-family residential R1 and multiple apartment district R3 to restricted retail commercial district B1 for property located at 25 Northeast 12th Street as legally described in Exhibit A and providing for an effective date. This is first reading.
I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I move it.
I'll second. The item has been properly moved and seconded. Is there a staff report on this item?
Sure. Good evening, Madam Mayor and Vice Mayor, member of the council. This property is located on the 25th and Northeast 12th Street. This project came before you for a land use change November of last year and went to this year and got approval December of last year. To be consistent with future land use, the staff recommends approval for this parcel.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions from members of council for staff or for the applicant? This is the bed and breakfast, correct, Ms. Kamali?
Yes.
Right. Any questions?
A comment.
Comment. Councilwoman Lobos?
Thank you, Mayor Bell. When I first looked at the application, I was a little bit concerned that we were going from R1 to R3, and I know that the future land designation is light commercial, but that we were going to B1. But then I read further on in the application that it's historically designated building, and so that kind of limits what on the B1 list you can assign to this, and then further found out that it was a bed and breakfast. So my concern went away, and I do support it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm actually very pleased about this, and so I'm looking forward to it, by the way. So thank you very much. Any further comments or questions from council? Roll call, Madam Clerk. Oh, excuse me, this is a public hearing. Are there any comments or questions from the members of the public? The public hearing is open. We'll now close the public hearing. Thank you. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman McCormick?
Yes.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Moving on to tab 21, item B, it's a resolution of the City of Homestead, Florida, granting final plat approval for Villa Portofino East Commercial, located southeast of the Homestead extension of the Florida Turnpike, east of Southwest 152nd Avenue, Kingman Road, and north of Southwest 312th Street, Campbell Drive, as legally described in Exhibit A, consisting of approximately 10.1 acres and providing for an effective date. Just to note, in the title and in the staff report, we've inserted, or we need to insert the word Villa East, Villa Portofino East.
Thank you, that's duly noted. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I'll move. I'll second.
The item has been properly moved and seconded. I will now open the public hearing. This is a final hearing, by the way. Any staff report on this, Ms. Kamali?
Sure. This is a 10-acre parcel, as James mentioned, is on the north of Campbell and east of Turnpike. This is where the PUD for the whole area is incorporated with the Hampton Inn, and based on the previous approval for the site plan and T-plat, the staff recommends approval.
Thank you very much. Are there any comments or questions from the members of council for staff or for the applicant? Any comments from the public? We'll now close the public hearing. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman McCormick?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Yes, moving on to tab 22, item C, a resolution of the City of Homestead, Florida, granting the request of Country Gardens LLC for an additional 12-month extension to a previously approved site plan for Country Gardens located on the west side of Southwest 137th Avenue between theoretical Southwest 300 and 302nd Streets, as legally described in Exhibit A, an approximately 18.7-acre site consisting of 100 single-family units and providing for an effective date.
I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I'll move it. I'll second it.
And the item has been properly moved and seconded. I will now open the public hearing. Staff report, Ms. Kamali.
Sure. This is the last extension to this Country Garden site plan. This is 100 single-family houses on 18.7 acre is on 137th and north of Campbell. And with the Section 30-47E, the revision that we made last year in October, we gave the applicant the opportunity to request within 180 days to extend for another 12 months.
Thank you very
and
much.
Staff recommends.
Thank you very much, Ms. Kamali.
Sure.
Are there any comments or questions for staff from council or for the applicant? And this is the final 12 months. This is a public hearing. Are there any comments or questions from the public? We will now close the public hearing. Thank you very much. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman McCormick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Yes, your last quasi-judicial item is tab 23. It's a resolution of the City of Homestead, Florida, granting the request of San Remo Homes at Homestead LLC for a 12-month extension to a previously approved site plan for 30 single-family residential units located east of Southwest 162nd Avenue, north of Southwest 320th Street, and northwest of the Homestead extension of the Florida Turnpike, as legally described in Exhibit A and providing for an effective date.
I'll move. I'll second.
The item has been properly moved and seconded. A staff report, Ms. Kamali.
Sure. As James mentioned, this is another 12-month extension and the final extension to the 30 single-family houses on 6.45 acres on 162nd.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Are there any comments or questions from the public? Any comments or questions from the members of council for this final extension? Thank you very much. I'll now close the public hearing. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman McCormick?
Yes.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Yes, moving on to your legislative matters. This is tab number 24. This is the second reading of an ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending Chapter 1.5 Concurrency Management System of the Code of Ordinances by establishing Section 1.5-8 Public School Concurrency Review to provide for the addition of public school concurrency review procedures necessary to meet the state mandated requirements of public school concurrency, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the code, and providing for an effective date. This is second and final reading.
I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Second.
The item has been properly moved and seconded. Any comments from council? I'll make comments. This is something that was mandated actually back, we approved, this council adopted back in June 16th of 2008, and this concurrency is very important so that when something is developed or built, a school or anything, as long as it's not exempted, that the proper funds be expended or the proper things be done in order to accommodate that growth. I know there's a move in the Florida legislature to turn this, to reverse this. And so and our lobbyists are actually working against it as we speak, because if that were to happen, then those costs would be passed on to the city. So we're watching that very, very closely. So I wanted to share that with you. Thank you very much. If there are no other comments from council, this is a public hearing. Are there any comments from the public? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman McCormick?
Yes.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item.
Yes, tab number 25 is the second reading of an ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending the City Code of Ordinances by amending Chapter 2 Administration, Article 11, Discrimination in Housing, to create Section 2-574, Reasonable Accommodation Procedure, to provide for a reasonable accommodation procedure with respect to housing and disabled persons, amending Chapter 30, Zoning, Article 1, in General, Division 1, generally, Section 30-1, Definitions, to amend the definitions applicable to community residential homes, further amending Article 3, District Regulations, to provide for community residential homes and assisted living facilities as required by Chapters 419 and 429 of the Florida statutes, further amending Article 4, Supplemental District Regulations, to provide for community residential homes and assisted living facilities, creating Section 30-476, Reasonable Accommodation Procedures, to provide for procedures related to housing standards for persons with disabilities under the Federal Fair Housing Act or American with Disabilities Act, amending Division 8, Special Exceptions, Section 30-531, established to provide for assisted living facilities, amending Article 6, Planned Unit Development, Section 30-570, permitted uses, to provide for community residential homes and assisted living facilities, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for conflicts, and providing for an effective date. This is second reading.
Good job. The item has been properly moved.
Seconded.
And the item has been seconded. Are there any comments from council? I think we had a very exhaustive discussion on this. This is a second reading, and this is specifically referring to community residential homes and assisted living facilities. And so it's pretty basic. Are there any comments from council? Questions? Any comments from the public? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman McCormick?
Yes.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next item is an ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending the City Code of Ordinances to implement provisions of the city charters amended at the November 4, 2008 charter amendment election to conform existing city code provisions to the amended charter amending Chapter 2, Administration of the City Code by creating Section 2-37, Councilmember Absence, amending Chapter 10, Elections of the City Code by amending Section 10-2, Time and Manner of Qualifications of Candidates, Section 10-13, Residency Requirements, 10-14, Filling a Vacancy, 10-15, Commencement of Term Elected Officials, and Section 10-16, Procedure for Filling Vacancies. The City Council will conform existing City Code provisions to the amended charter, amending Section 10-17, City Charter Amendments to update county charter reference, providing for severability, inclusion in the code, and effective date.
I'll entertain a motion for
I'll
approval.
move it.
I'll second it.
That is properly seconded. And James shouldn't worry, because Richard's a little older and he's had more experience reading these, so James will read it just as fast one day, I'm sure of it.
There's some big words there that I didn't.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions or comments from council?
Mayor, I have a comment.
Certainly, Councilwoman Waldman, please.
On page 5, when we talk about the procedure, if less than 1 year remains in the term, I know we all agree that we never want to relive what we went through last time. And I feel compelled to say that I cannot vote on a proposed candidate unless I have the right to interview all applicants. So I would like to see that verbiage put in there. I know it says the mayor may first interview individual applicants if desired. In the event that the mayor is not satisfied that any applicant is qualified, the mayor shall advise the city clerk to repeat the application solicitation process. Once the mayor makes a proposed appointment of a person for a council seat, the effectiveness of that appointment shall be subject to the precedent of approval by a majority of the members of the council, the mayor shall vote on that item as part of the council body. However, it says the mayor's request for council approval shall be done at a council meeting. And I know that, I can't speak for all council members, but I know for me, I'm not going to vote for someone, regardless of who they are, until I have a chance to interview that person and know that person. So I'd just like to put that on the record.
Thank
I don't
you.
know if there's a possibility of getting it added to this code change, but that's just my opinion.
Actually, after the mayor does make a selection, every council member does have the opportunity to interview the candidate.
It doesn't say that, Mayor.
That's the way we've always done it.
It doesn't
Mr.
say it,
Weiss?
though.
The language does not say that. It could be added, but I think the procedure has been in for the council to have the opportunity to interview. So if you want to put it into the code, you can. If not, it can just be sort of the way you conduct your business either way.
Certainly, absolutely, and by the way, any council member would never be forbidden or precluded from interviewing anybody that they want to interview anyway. It's a public hearing. It's government in the sunshine, so anybody can talk to them at any time they want.
But Mayor, why not put it in here?
Well, if you want to, I just think it's a lot of words in the ordinance, and we've always done it that way. So if you want, I have no objection, quite frankly.
But this council may not be seated 4 years from now, 2 years from now, 1 year from now. So,
I know one thing. I know one thing, that's the way it's been done since perpetuity, and it's never been an issue until there was this mayor. But if that's the way you want it done, certainly. Councilwoman
Mayor
Rivas?
Bell, I have a question for Mr. Weiss. I know this certainly, all of these charter amendments started with a charter committee, and so my question to you is, has all of this been reviewed? If we were to make an amendment, since this also went before the voters, what would be the procedure? Would we have to go back to the charter committee to introduce this, since they were the ones that had input in all of this, and this is where the discussion actually took place? And then prior to that, we reviewed the language change, what proposed it would be, and then we went to the ballot. What would be the procedure?
Well, the ordinance, the way it is, fully implements the charter amendments that were approved by the electorate. And once this is done, the Charter Review Committee really is not in existence anymore. If you wanted to add it to the ordinance, you could. If you wanted to have it reviewed by some committee, that change, you could. But it wouldn't be the Charter Review Committee, because they're really done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Lobos. I'm actually satisfied with it the way it's written. Mr. Vice Mayor?
We would have to seat another review committee then, if that's what we so chose to do? Is that what you're saying? We'd have to pick and choose and go through the whole procedure of...
Well, I think that the question that the councilman was asking was, are we sort of going beyond the committee's recommendations, and could this go back to the committee, this particular item go back to the committee? Right. In order to do that, you would have to seat a new committee and all of that. I think if it's something that somebody wants to make a motion on and put it in here, they should make a motion and put it in. It's not necessary for it to go back to any kind of a committee other than one of your own committees, and have it discussed if you wanted to add it there.
Well, Mayor, I'll make a motion that we add it.
There's a motion on the floor. Thank you. Is there a second? The motion fails for a lack of a second. Any further comments from council? Thank you very much. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Actually,
no.
This is a
it's a roll call vote. Sorry about that.
Right.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Councilwoman Waldman?
No.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman McCormick?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item.
Okay, there's actually the next three items on the agenda, just for the public's benefit, are three items they're really cleanup language dealing with our retirement plans. The first one is an ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending the City Code by amending Chapter 22.5 Retirement Plans by amending to Article 3 General Employees Retirement Plan by amending Section 22.5-101 Definitions, Plan Membership to close membership in the General Employees Retirement Plan to employees hired on or after October 1st, 2009, providing for severability inclusion in the code, and an effective date. This is an implementation of the collective bargaining that was entered into with the IBEW.
Is there a motion for approval?
I'll second.
The item has been properly moved and seconded. Are there any comments or questions from council?
Excuse me, Mayor. There was one item that was skipped, the budget amendment.
Oh, I'm so
Number
sorry.
27.
Yes,
Let's
that's
do this
right.
one, and I'll go
Thank
back to
you.
that one. I'm sorry.
Item 27?
The one, if you don't mind, since it's on the floor, do this
Oh,
one and then
okay,
go back.
certainly.
This is 28.
We're going to vote on item 28, which is already on the floor, which has a motion and a second. Any further comments or questions from council on item 28? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman McCormick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Going back one item to tab 27, an ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending the city's fiscal year budget beginning October 1st, 2008 and ending September 30th, 2009 by increasing both the revenue and expenditure budget by $4,430,159, providing for severability and effective date.
I'll move.
Second. The item has been properly moved and seconded. Any comments from council?
I have a comment, Mayor Bell.
Yes.
I had some questions to the city managers as to what kind of budget amendments these were, and they actually, she's going to pass out a list that was created by the budget office, and it gives you a list of the projects that this budget amendment is referring to, and we simply, what it is projects that were not completed within the fiscal year, whose income and expenses are now rolling over into the new fiscal year. The important thing to note is that there will not be change orders caused by the passing of this budget amendment.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman Lobos. Mr. Manager?
Mayor, council members, to just, add a little bit to this. This is something normal in the budget process. We always last fiscal year was finished, and there were some projects that were not finished. And normally when you go through the preparation of your budget, you don't know how much is needed to finish the fiscal year. So every year we have an adjustment. And I can assure you, maybe if you go back and look at the prior fiscal years, this is the leanest adjustments you will see in the budget. These are all capital projects, and you see the breakdown of all these projects. So the money that was not spent in the prior fiscal year practically goes to the return earnings, and we are taking it as a revenue, and we're showing it as an expense with this amendment. The only thing that was not in last fiscal year, that's the $3 million for the lake restoration. That's the only expense you see there, and it's practically money used from the general fund, with the hope that it's going to be recovered and given back to the general fund in the future. In that particular item, we had two alternatives. One was to restore the lake, and one was to sell fill. The sale of the fill, we did not include anything about it here, because when we start selling the fill, there's going to be a revenue and expense to offset each other. Even maybe there could be a surplus. That should be the intent of selling the fill. But I just wanted to go on record for people who are watching it at home why the city is doing this amendment. It's just for these two reasons.
Thank you very much, Mr. Manager, and thank you, Councilwoman Lobos. Any further comments from council? This is also a public hearing. Any member of the public is welcome to speak on any of these items at any time. Thank you very much. Close the public hearing. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman McCormick?
Yes.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, this is the second of the retirement items, which is an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending Chapter 22.5 Retirement Plans, Article 6, new elected officials and senior management retirement system of the City Code by amending Section 22.5, 301, 302, and 303 to provide that senior managers appointed on or after April 30, 2009 shall not be eligible for membership in the retirement system, providing a repealer, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I'll move.
Second.
The item has been properly moved in second. Mr. Manager, why don't you give a staff report on this?
Mayor, council members, just if there's one single accomplishment this council and this team should be proud of, it's practically getting rid of defined benefit pension plans for the general employees, and also in the senior management portion of the new elected officials, people in the city manager's office also will not be receiving the defined benefit plan. And the next item will be to open a 401A. That was always an option for directors, assistant directors, and also for city manager's office. It's in existence, but it's going to be open, and I know Richard will talk about it later, but since we're talking about they are all interconnected, it will, for the 401A for general employees, including the IBEW and also all the non-hourly employees, Marcy, non-bargaining hourly employees will also go into this plan after April 1st. Mayor, with the financial situation all around the nation, the world, to have defined benefit plans is, a huge risk to governments, to corporations. So when the city tried to do this for a long time, did not succeed. This year we succeeded in negotiations with the union. So I am Marcy, the negotiation team, and of course the union. I want to thank everybody for understanding and making this happen. So this is one single accomplishment. I can tell you it's the best so far.
Thank you. And this is a huge cost savings in the future for the taxpayers. There'll be an initial cost to the city for this, but in the long run it's going to be such a benefit to the taxpayers. And I've read many articles on how pension plans are bankrupting many corporations and really harming many cities, many municipalities. And so this was a very necessary thing to do, and it's a wise thing to do, a fiscally prudent thing to do, and the employees will be able to put into their plan as well, and the city will be putting into the plan. So it's still going to benefit the employees. It's just going to be a big cost savings for the city. Any comments from council? Thank you, Mr. Manager, on this. This is something that we really agreed upon, that was necessary to do. This is a public hearing. Any comments from the public on this item? We'll now close the public hearing. No more further comments. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman McCormick?
Yes.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
This is the third retirement item which establishes the 401A plan that the manager just spoke about. Resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, establishing a 401A money purchase retirement plan in the form of an ICMA Retirement Corporation 401 Governmental Money Purchase Plan and Trust, providing the ICMA Retirement Corporation Governmental Money Purchase Plan and Trust Adoption Agreement, providing the administrative services agreement between ICMA Retirement Corporation and the city, authorizing the city manager to take all actions necessary to implement the agreements, authorizing expenditure of funds, authorizing the city manager to execute the agreements, and providing for an effective date.
I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
The item has properly moved and seconded. Are there any comments or questions? I think it's been discussed. Any comments from the public? Close the public hearing. This is a resolution, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes carry. Thank you very much. At this time, we will now open the floor for public comments. Any member of the public that would like to speak, you're welcome to do so now.
Turn your mic on.
Turn the microphone on.
Good evening, Mayor and Councilman. My name is Robert Barnes. I'm an architect in Homestead 221 North Chrome Avenue and president of the SR2 Corporation, which owns the building on Washington Avenue, 38 Washington Avenue, just north of Maury. This is my partner, Ron Webb. He's the owner of Homestead Furniture and the original owner of the building that we are talking about since 1939. It's been in the family. we started into discussions with city CRA about 3 years ago, 2.5 to 3 years ago, on us donating the south end of our property to create an urban linkage plaza and to also solve some traffic issues with the alley and how it converges with Maury Street. In August of last year, we had finalized the agreement with your attorneys and it gone to city to be, I guess, scheduled and reviewed for a council meeting. In November, we had our final agreement with city staff that they had approved and we had agreed on for this to go ahead, and in November, and it was supposed to have been put on the agenda for you, and it didn't get put on, and then in January it was put on and it was removed, and in February it was put on and removed, I think February, and then this March 10th it was supposed to be on, and then it got removed again, and we would like to move ahead with this. This is a larger view of what we were talking about, and when this project started, we realized there was a problem liability-wise for the city in the way the alley merges out into Maury and creates some conflict of traffic. We gave up in the process. We thought that as an architect and five-generation family member of Homestead and a lover of downtown Homestead, still striving to try and make it come back with vitality, I believe that urban linkages are a very important element to urban planning, and we agreed to donate our properties to the city of Homestead to create an urban linkage. In the process, we gave up our only parking spaces that we could ever have on that building, which has a 20,000 square foot plan. We have since gone ahead and built the rotunda on the south side, which we put $250,000 in, to follow along in this process when we could have built it on the eastern side of the building facing Washington and had some parking, 12 to 14 spaces, which isn't a lot, but it's some parking, comes in value of a building. But putting the rotunda where it is dead center of the center line of Maury Drive going out to US 1, and it creates a vista point. And so because of those things, I thought for the perpetuity of sustainability and community health, I thought it was better to donate the property. And we would just like to get it on the agenda and move along with it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Mr. Manager?
Mayor, council members, this is something Joanna is involved with, I'm not.
Ms. Faddis?
Yes, Mayor, council members, this is an agreement that we have been discussing with Mr. Barnes through the CRA, and actually as of last week we were actually ready to go. While we were out in Washington, I did receive a phone message from our attorney notifying me that there was a change that Mr. Barnes wanted to make to the agreement, so as soon as I'm able to make contact with her, we'll get that finalized and bring it before you.
So there's a change that's not in the current agreement?
Correct.
Initiated by Mr. Barnes?
Correct.
Okay. So, Mr. Barnes, and I would recommend that you call Ms. Faddis' office first thing in the morning, set up an appointment so we can get this on the agenda.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm glad to.
Ms. Faddis, would you keep me posted? Thank you very much.
Would you keep me posted as well, Ms. Faddis?
Ms. Knowles.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Yvonne Knowles, Historic Preservation Officer in Homestead, and Historic Preservation Board Chair, pardon me, not the officer. We're looking for an officer. That's one of my issues. We're still hoping to have an officer approved by our city managers. I guess there's a name been out there on the table for a while, and we're hoping we get one soon. But in the meantime, I'm forced to do a lot of bookkeeping and paperwork and everything for the board, and we're kind of struggling with an issue. We'd like some direction from you, Mayor, and from the city manager. We keep having our board meetings, and at this point, there's one subject keeps coming up, and we think we resolved it. We have minutes to prove it. We think we put it to bed, and then it comes back up the next month. And I'm referring to the palm trees on Chrome Avenue. Now, we've had 3 discussions of this at the board level. These are historically designated trees, and we understand that they are protected through the designation and that they are beautiful trees, and we all love those trees. But I keep hearing that perhaps these trees are going to be removed from Chrome Avenue. So since I've addressed it 3 times at the board level, and my board seems to think that they're protected, but the community, I keep getting calls from people saying that they're going to be removed. So I'd like to know, Mayor, if you know anything about this.
Sure, I'd love to discuss it. You want to address it first, Mr. Manager, or would you like me to? No, thank you. Actually, we have been discussing, and I've been discussing with the manager's office as well as the CRA. We did a foot field trip of the entire Main Street historic area. And this past summer, I went to a downtown Main Street conference, which I saw you at. Councilman Mobus went as well. And one of the things that we learned to create a true walkable community, and you want to get the pedestrians there, you want to get the community, you have to create an area that looks inviting, that people want to come and people want to stay and want to have shade. So yes, there has been discussion about removing some of the palms, not all of the palms. So also, they are a liability. When those big, huge palms crash and hit the cars, they're a huge liability. And one of the things that, and the conference was fascinating, one of the things that I did learn was that palms are beautiful, but they really don't provide shade, but they're very lovely. And they're great to have on a road when you're driving through, but you're not stopping. It's beautiful to have like on your US 1 corridor or like Speedway Boulevard when you're going somewhere else, you're not going to stop and walk there. So one of the things that I did learn at the conference, and I have a book, that addresses all of these issues, and it was just one of the things that we discussed. But also we had been discussing the liability issues on the palms. Also, they are wrapped because it's not natural to have palm trees on a sidewalk, so we had to build up the bed to be able to plant them there. So you have these big concrete structures that wrap around the trees, and people have been complaining. In fact, if you look at all of them, there must be about 100 chips in each one of them from people swinging their car doors open and smacking their car doors into them, and that poses a problem as well. So yes, we have been talking about, but not, they would be, it's nothing been finalized yet, but yes, we have been discussing moving some of them and putting in shady oaks and mahoganies and oaks to create a wonderful shade canopy over Chrome Avenue to kind of invite the walkability and invite the businesses and the pedestrian traffic that we really want to create down there. At the same time, I'm working with FDOT, trying to get the trucks off of Chrome. It's already out to PD&E. We're really getting somewhere for the first time in a very long time. So we have been discussing that. Nothing has been formalized, but it really has. And when I've been discussing it, like at the Chamber of Commerce and other areas where we've discussed it, it's met with wonderful, quite frankly, enthusiasm, because we need to do something downtown to create a wonderful shady lane, if you will, in downtown Chrome. But believe me, the trees that we do, there will be many that will be left there. We want to fill in and get rid of some of those big concrete barriers, but they would be transplanted and moved to another area. They would be preserved. They are historic, and they would be preserved. They would be taken care of very, very gingerly, and they would be placed in another lovely location.
So my question would be then, because they are designated, the certificate of appropriateness would be applied for relocation of these trees, because that's how we protect those trees, through their designation process.
Whatever the rules are, we will comply.
Okay, I'll tell that to the board. Thank you so much.
Whatever the rules are, we will comply.
And I appreciate it. And it's not all the trees, it's just a few select trees that are being taken out.
We're trying to infill with oaks, and I love the corner palms that are there, and then some, and quite frankly, if you drive down Chrome Avenue, take a look right in front of Home Hardware. Take a look at that type of a shade canopy that you have happening there, and that's what I want to have happening all the way down Chrome. So it's time to stop talking about renovating Chrome, but it's time to do something about it, and that was one of the ways that we could do something about it. But let me tell you something. I have palm trees that wrap around my home, and those palms will be protected.
Good.
I stopped and pulled over and chased a guy for nailing a for rent sign on one of our palms on Chrome Avenue, so you better believe they'll be protected.
I appreciate your help. Thank you very much on this.
Mr. Manager, no, thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that. Mr. Manager?
Mayor, to just confirm what you said, I had communications with Dan Wick when he asked me this question. It's absolutely our intent, whenever we have a plan, to share it with the Historic Preservation Board, to comply with the whatever rules we have to do. But, if we are going to be relocating any of these trees, they are salvageable, would definitely be relocated within the district.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. First, Vice Mayor, and then Councilwoman Walben.
I was just going to let Ms. Knowles know that the city has put 10 oak trees in down there, and I believe the plan is to put 9 or 10 mahogany trees to be a filler also, so that there's 2 kinds of shade trees.
But it's looking very beautiful downtown, so we appreciate that. Thank you so much.
I've actually been discussing it. I've been to all of the concerts in the park, and when we were down there with the 5K and all the concerts, and we've brought the antique car shows back on the second Sundays, and I've been to every one of those events, and when I discuss it with the people downtown, they're thrilled. They just love the concept and love the idea. Believe me, it's not an original one with me. It's just something that I think that we need to bring to really renovate downtown.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your question. Councilwoman Walben.
Yes, Mayor Bell. Is this going to come before council for a vote? Because this is the first I've heard of this.
Yes, actually, we would bring it to a committee of the whole, and we would have a discussion on it, absolutely.
I get the feeling, though, that others know about it, and I don't. So, Mr. Manager, please keep me informed. Thank you.
I can tell you I did not call any council members about it. They call and ask questions, and I answer
Well,
them.
if there's something going on in the city and I don't know about it, how can I ask questions? So please keep me informed.
We try.
Thank you very much. Business from the city manager?
Mayor, council members, this coming Saturday there's going to be the Super Saturday, and it's going to be an event held by this participation of the city, IRS, and Congressman Mari Diaz-Balart, and it's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and there are several organizations participating, and I see a list there. Sheila put in the board. There were too many for me to go through, but you will find it on our website, and you will see it if you watch the city channel scrolling also, like Sheila has it there. The IRS also, the YMCA preparation of taxes is still continuing, and it's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. This month's Music in the Park will take place on Saturday, March 28th from 7 to 10 p.m. and it's going to be Bat de Leon from Tobacco Road. And also we have at the Easter Egg Hunt, Saturday, April 11th from 10 to 1 p.m. at Harris Field Football Stadium, and it's going to be the egg hunt will begin at 11 a.m. And if you have any questions about the tickets, please call the Parks and Recreation or 305-224-4580. All this information I mentioned is on the city's website, and it's www.cityofhomestead.com. One last item, Mayor, I want to mention. I know I mentioned it at the Committee of the Whole, but this is going to be Dan Wick's last meeting with us as council meeting. Practically, this is his last public meeting with us. And I said a few things last time, and I will just repeat them because people will see it at home and on the TV channel. Dan, we thank you very much for your service. We wish you the best of luck in your assignment or new job, and you could always count on us for anything you need. And I thank you very much for your service.
Thank you very much, Mr. Manager. Reports of Mayor and Council. Councilman Nelson.
Thank you, Mayor. It's been a busy month this month. We've attended many meetings, Military Affairs Committee. I attended a grant award to Coconut Palm K through 8 for an amount of $88,000 for a Everglades restoration project. Also, we attended the Chamber Chili Cook-Off, which we got second place this year in the best taste. Hold it up. There we go.
It's a tight budget year. Second place for taste. Last year we got first place for presentation. This time it's taste. Thank you.
It was great teamwork. We all pulled together.
It was good teamwork.
Each had a little tasting of it and added a little critique, and it came out excellent. I would like to congratulate Councilman McCormick for his efforts in the Southwest and the cleanup with the advisory committee. It was a great team effort, and I'm sure the residents of the Southwest community really do appreciate it. And it was fun, too. We had a great time. I think we laughed the whole way as we were walking a mile and a half or 2 miles. I haven't measured it yet, but it was a good walk, and we got code enforcement involved in it, so it was an eye-opener to some other problems down there, so it was good. Last week, a group of us went to D.C., Washington, D.C., on a legislative trip, which was very exhausting. I got back. I have a cold still from it. We met a lot of senators and Congress folks, men and women. I think it's going to be a good year for us. It seemed a little bit more positive this year when talking to them. And that's about it for me this week.
Thank you very much, Councilman. Councilwoman Sierra?
First of all, Mayor, I'd like to congratulate you on your congressional recognition. I know that it meant a lot to you to have Congressman Mario Diaz-Balart recognize you, and to my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, Councilwoman Lobos, you were the very first person recognized this year. So I want to thank and congratulate you on that. Councilman McCormick, your project, cleanup project, was so well organized, and it was such great fun. I had an opportunity to be out there with my boys, my 12 and my 15-year-old, and they actually had fun. They were asking when we were going to do this again. And if it was only a mile and a half, boy, it felt like 6 miles to me. Then maybe I'm a little bit out of shape. It could be. I also want to congratulate you on thinking out of the box with the whole scholarship program. I think that this is a phenomenal idea, and I'm trying to figure out how I can do that something as well for citywide. One thing that I want to say about the D.C. trip this year, it felt extremely productive, although I was so glad to come back to the warm Miami weather. We did work very, very hard, and I'm sure the mayor will fill you in more on what we got accomplished. We had an opportunity to attend the Air Base Elementary 50th anniversary. What a show those children put on for us, and I believe that in a coming council meeting we'll be bringing 1 or 2 of the acts for everybody to have an opportunity to see them. What a great school they have there, and they're just doing really great things. I just want to let families know who have their children at Sacred Heart Catholic School. If you have questions or you have concerns, please give me a call. My cell phone number is 305-431-2318, or you can email me at nsierra@cityofhomestead.com. I'm working very hard on trying to help make the best decision for the school for those children so that we can continue to have quality choices in education for our great city. Tomorrow, the Education Committee meeting will be held at 5:15. This meeting is only for those members or anyone who would like to assist us in reconfiguring our compact with the Miami-Dade County Public Schools. It is at 5:15 tomorrow at the Manager's Conference Room. And I also want to thank everyone who was involved in finally getting our brand-new City of Homestead website up. Thank you very much to Lillian and the whole IT team. I don't know how many of you have had an opportunity to go look at it, but it really looks smart, it looks up to date, it's easy to maneuver. I don't know how many people on council have had an opportunity to look at it just yet, but thank you very much for your hard work. And happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody for tomorrow. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman Sierra. Councilwoman Waldman.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I have quite a few things here. First of all, I noticed that Yvonne Knowles is no longer here, but I wanted to thank the efforts of the Homestead Merchants Association, Colin Tyler, and Main Street for the Mardi Gras Parade. It was a wonderful night. Mayor Bell welcomed the crowd, and I was in the parade, and we had a wonderful time. So I just wanted to thank everyone for that. Faith Fellowship Church had a fundraiser for their school, and I didn't realize it, but within their school, they have a program for special needs children. So it was so much fun to go out there to Southgate Senior High, to my old alma mater, and see it, and see Entrell and Mike Dill and some of the others come out and play against the Harlem Globetrotters, and it was just great fun. And they made a lot of money, too, so I was very happy. I also attended In the Company of Women, and that's held each year in the month of March. It's held for Women History Month, and I go every year as a 2005 Pioneer recipient. Many of you were there the night that I received the award, and it was amazing. Each year I realize how important the award is and was. I treasure it because it honors women, and I just don't have the words to tell you what it's like to sit in that room with all these amazing, amazing people. And this year, one of the honorees of the award was Commissioner Rebecca Sosa, so I want to congratulate her from our County Commission. I was asked to model for the Homestead Women's Club Outstanding Women of the Year fashion show. So, I mean, that was wonderful. I was proud to do that, but I was totally surprised when I was named one of the 7 Outstanding Women of the Year in the city of Homestead. So I want to thank all the people that attended and thank all the people that selected me for that honor. The Red Cross Ball, what can I say? Amazing. Those girls and one guy, Bill Duquette, who are the committee, they do an amazing job every year. It was beautiful to see everyone there, and everyone there for such a special, special, special cause. Want to thank everyone for coming out for the Little Angels Casino Night. We had over 300 people there. We didn't think that it would happen this year because of the economic times, but it was packed, and we had it at Keys Gate, and it was just wonderful. And I want to thank everyone, all the community, all the Southgate community, for supporting this great event. Mr. Shahada mentioned the YMCA. I don't know, preparing the tax returns, I don't know if you mentioned that it's only on Saturdays, but it's only on Saturdays that they do that. So I just wanted to tell you about that. And Relay for Life. I'm co-chair this year with Jill White through Baptist Health Systems of the Relay for Life. Worked on Relay for many, many years. And it doesn't matter who you are, who you know, what family you belong to, but everybody has had somebody who's been touched by cancer, a loved one. So I'm asking you to come out. It's April 3rd. It's going to be at the Homestead Hospital again this year. There's several ways you can get involved. You can get involved by joining a team. You can get involved just by being a sponsor. You can get involved just for coming out and having dinner. And I know the City of Homestead has been working very hard on their teams, their team, baking and selling, and there's going to be a tea party soon. But those of us who are in the administrative side of it, I'll tell you, it's a lot of work. So if you're interested in joining, it's not too late. We're really a little down on teams this year, and we need to generate more support and response. So you can reach me here at the city, and I'll be happy to get you anything you need. And last but not least, I have a very important announcement. This is a project that I've been working on behind the scenes for probably over a year. It's something that's dear to me. Maria Garza and I are going to join forces together with the Southgate Skills Center. We are going to be collecting gently used clothing, both men and women. And the clothes will go to people who truly need them. Some of the, some of the people that I know when I attended the Diamond and the Rough fashion show at the Skills Center, you know, they had nothing, and they're getting their GEDs, they're graduating, they're going to vocational schools, they're learning how to do things, and they need clothes for interviews, they need clothes to work in, they need to know how to dress, how to accessorize, and how to put things together. So we're going to be working with, of course, the Southgate Skills Center, all the migrant programs, the high schools. We're going to contact the guidance counselors to find out, you know, if people need prom dresses, if people need job interview, college interview suits, the battered women, the pregnancy center. I've donated clothes to SOS for years, and so have other people that I know. But more than that, it's going to go to people who really, really need the clothes. And I'm going to take it a step further because I didn't have a partner in this for a long time because it was my own project, and I kept asking Merv if we could put an addition on our house for another big closet for this. And of course, that wasn't possible. But Maria Garza at the Skill Center, they're actually building a closet for us. And they're in the process of doing it now. So as of the end of this week, beginning of next week, we'll be ready to take clothing. Believe you me, all my friends know I was going around the Red Cross ball saying, you need to donate that dress. So we were having fun with it. And not only am I going to do that, I'm going to take it another step further because I've worked with Pat Millerson and the children in the inner city. And many of them, they don't know how to dress. They don't know how to fill out a resume. They don't know the social skills to speak to someone as they're being interviewed. And I'm sure many of you have seen that in your positions. So I'm going to give classes at the Skill Center and work with these children and adults, and do whatever I can to help them get a job and keep a job. So that's it. For right now, we're going to call it Judy's Closet for a better name. And we're going to say what is used to you is new to others. So please start cleaning out your wardrobes, and we'll take belts, slightly used shoes, everything slightly used. Even new, we'll take new as well. But we're not asking for money, we're asking for clothes. So just let me know. You can contact me here at the city. We have pickups ready, people that will go and pick up. We need more volunteers. So if anybody would like to join with me on this venture, I ask council support as well. And please just give me a call. We'll be happy to accommodate. Or if you need someone that if you know someone that needs that service, we'll be happy to do that as well. Thank you. And happy St. Patty's Day. I've got my green on.
Yes, I see your green. Good for you. Congratulations on the Outstanding Woman of the Year.
Thank you.
I know that, what organization honored you?
The Little Angels.
Congrats.
There were seven, but they kept it a surprise. So I was really shocked. Oh, and by the way, there's a handmade quilt for Relay for Life. I have raffle tickets, $1 a piece, and it's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Burgess.
Thank you, Mayor. I, too, attended the Red Cross Ball, and I'm scarred for life. I saw our ex-vice mayor trying to do a disco dance up there, but maybe a few more lessons would be good.
What are you trying to say?
He had a little trouble. But anyway, it was a great time. And let me say congratulations to his wife, though, who did a great job and ended up winning it. I attended the Homestead Little League opening about a week and a half ago and got to throw out the first pitch, and it looks like they've got a lot of kids out there this year enjoying the great fields that Parks and Rec are putting together. So Robert and Omar and the rest of his staff are doing a great job. Everybody was complimenting the condition of the fields, which is always good to hear, especially with as much use as we get out of them over there, that they can keep them in that good a shape. Councilman Nelson and myself attended the Homestead Youth Baseball, which is a different league, at the J.D. Red Park. And it was kind of a special day. They have the University of Miami and Nova Southeastern medical schools have put together a program where they come down and help autistic children to come down and gain the skills and the enjoyment of playing baseball. They've got 48 kids that are signed up. They're full with that many kids. The doctor that's in charge was telling me they've got 5,000 kids on their roster that they would like to find a place to play. They have people driving as far down as from Palm Beach, because no other county in South Florida or no other town in South Florida has welcomed them the way that Homestead has. In fact, they've gone to many communities, they say, around, and they're just flatly denied access to the fields or whatever. And it's great to see that Homestead has stepped up through our Parks and Rec and the rest of the city, and is supporting such a great program that has brought national attention to this program and to the city of Homestead. As there were some people from, I believe it was 2020, were there wandering around and talking to some of the families and stuff. One thing that they are looking for is a little more help, and it might be something that we can help them with in the future. With the new soccer fields coming online, is they'd like to start a soccer league for these children also. So somewhere down the line, maybe we can have discussions about that. But it's a great program. They've got some great backing with the University of Miami and Nova Southeastern, and they're trying to get Major League Baseball involved. They've got several players that bring their children down here to do it. So it's a great program, and they're trying to make it a nationally known program that other places can feed off of and learn from. So that was a great thing. And lastly, since most of my other things were talked about, I just want to say thank you to Colonel, soon-to-be Brigadier General Binger and his staff for a great day today, as they showed me the inside and outside of an F-16 and what they can do. So thank you to all of them out there, and I'm still with you. And I did not throw up.
Okay. Did you weigh the empty bag?
I left it right where it was. I never even moved it. So thank you to them, and they do quite a job out there, and there's a lot more that they do than just fly, too. So it's impressive to go out there and see all the effort that those people put forward. So thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. That's just awesome. I won't tell you what happened to me when I was on the jet. Councilwoman Lobos.
Thank you, Mayor Bell. You fell asleep on your flight. That's what happened.
I took a nap in an F-16, so what's
Thank you. I wrote a couple of notes here. Councilwoman Sierra, since you brought it up, I do want to thank you for the work that you did with the city website. I have gotten great feedback from the community. They love the look. As a matter of fact, one attorney said that it's almost like a corporate feel, and I said that's because we mean business in the city of Homestead. So, a lot of good feedback about our new website. I just want to inform the council and everybody else that next week I'll be traveling to Tallahassee, Florida, as an FMEA board member with Ms. Barbara Quinones, our Director of Electric Utilities. And Mr. Shahada, I know that I mentioned this to you, that Ms. Quinones, I would love for you to speak to Mr. Conco and to get what's on the list from FMEA and to kind of just focus in on the items that are relative to the city of Homestead. We do want to go up there and help the association, but we also want to make sure that all of our efforts go towards what's going to be productive for our city. So I'm sure, Mr. Shahada, you'll talk that over with them. This past Saturday, while everybody else was boogieing down at the Red Cross Ball, I attended the Military Affairs Committee Awards Dinner. And one of the things that I wanted to mention that came from that is I had an extensive talk with Colonel McCauley. First of all, Mayor, I did mention to him as we were talking that Colonel Binger was up in D.C. lobbying as well, which we ran into him. I did mention to him that we were in Governor Chris's office located in D.C., and they were not aware that we still had a functioning base. They actually thought that it was closed the stores during the hurricane. And so I did inform Colonel McCauley that because you're so well versed on that base that you were able to give a 10-minute presentation and schooling those people as to what operations are going on at the base. And he wanted me to tell you thank you.
Thank you.
I want to make sure that everybody on every level knows that this base is open for business. Also, I know that Councilwoman Sierra has mentioned this, Wings Over Homestead, which is coming in November of 2009. It's a big air show. It will be the only one in South Florida. I actually attended one about 4 years ago up in Fort Lauderdale, and I was so happy to learn that this time it's going to be here in Homestead at the Air Reserve Base. And as is always with events, they are in need of sponsors. And they just came out with the sponsors packet, and so with your permission, Mayor Bell, I gave both of Ms. Fares and Mr. Shahada the corporate sponsorship, because even though it's in November, I believe that it's important for us to get on board early to show that we are committed to this event. It's called Wings Over Homestead. And I know Miami-Dade County, and I won't say who it was, but they were toying with the idea of making it Wings Over Miami, and, well, I said no. We need to get on board early, make sure that it remains an event for the city of Homestead. It's going to be one of the biggest highlights this year, I believe, here in the city, and we can brag about being on early. It's important for the base and Colonel McCauley to show that the city is committed early on. So anyway, I repeated that twice to show that its importance, and hope that I have the council support and the mayor, the manager, to move forward with that. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman, and thank you for representing us at the Military Affairs Committee Awards Dinner. Thank you very much. Councilman McCormick.
Yes.
Who's also wearing his green.
Yes, ma'am.
You're a Irishman, right? McCormick?
St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. Thank you once again, Mayor Bill. I would like to express my gratitude again to all the ladies and gentlemen that helped with the Spring Into Action Cleanup Day, from Captain Washington to Chief Roll to Mr. Dan Wick to Ms. Lauren Yoder. I had the council members that were present, Councilwoman Lobos, Councilwoman Sierra, Councilman Tim Nelson. Also, we had some of the SWAC members, This event, it went very well. We had a total of 123 people that came out to help. We collected 50 bags of trash. Like I said one time before, we had the council people. They had the rolling garbage cans. I gave them the longest route. I knew they were the best. The thing it was so organized. It was a total of 4 groups. We had 4 officers that led the groups. We had one group that went west on 4th Street. We had one group that went east on 4th Street. We had 2 groups that went south on 6th Avenue, and they split up on 6th Street. So they encompassed the whole southwest area. And it was important for the residents to see that me as a council person and the other community is willing to come out and lend a helping hand in the southwest. And hopefully I can do this event again. I'm shooting for sometime in July, depending on how the weekends fall. I tried to do it when it wasn't that hot. It was the end of the winter term or the winter time. Bringing it in the spring. That's why the day was called Spring into Action, the community cleanup. So it was very well. We had the Homestead Job Corps was there. We had Bay Point Schools there. AmeriCorps was there. Our beautiful, wonderful, hard-working police explorers were there. A representative from the Mayor's Youth Council. So this event went very well. And like I say, when we first started, we were only anticipating 50 people. And as the number of roles went from estimated 50 went to 65, from 65 to 84, and then we just round off at 100. When we got to 100, we had 109 that was registered, so we had to go a little bit past 100. So we ended up having 123, like I said. So I have to say again, thank you to all that came. We had residents and non-residents. We had if I forgot anybody, please just forgive me. But it was such a great event to see that people are really interested in helping us. So we just have to get out there and do some things ourselves. And I really appreciate everyone again. We have pictures. That was a crew right there. They were hard working. They were dedicated. They were there. We had fun. It was a very well put together event. Thanks to the Southwest Advisory Committee, and a very, very special thanks to Patty and Carrie. They were there. They were on point. They were there early. They had everything set up. Like I said, it was so organized that there was no complaints. So once again, thank you to everyone. That's all I have, Mayor Bill.
Thank you very much, Councilman McCormick. Now, that's 2 you've got. You've got spring into action and rise to the occasion. So I know who to come to if I need a little something catchy, so I'm coming to you. Thank you very much. We've discussed the D.C. lobbying trip, and what we did this year was we went up there with a very focused agenda. We had 4 items. We presented the 4 items to all of our congressional delegation as well as our senators, and they really appreciated how restricted we were with our request, how we came in with the 4 items, we explained the 4 items, and we moved on. So they were very appreciative and that we were very brief, to the point, and as the council reflects, they were very, very receptive to us, but the proof is in the pudding, so we will keep you posted. I also want to congratulate the First United Methodist Church on their 100th anniversary. I went last Sunday and presented them a proclamation on behalf of the City of Homestead, and they were very appreciated. But 100th anniversary of First United Methodist Church, so really big congratulations to them. Also, last night, we had the Naval Academy Glee Club performing at New Beginnings Christian Fellowship, and they put on such an unbelievable performance. It was like a professional performance. They were that good. And so I wanted to congratulate the Naval Academy Glee Club. Also, I thank you already for representing us at the Military Affairs Committee. You had to give up the Red Cross ball. I did an interview last week with the Associated Press on the mortgage crisis, what's happening in the city with foreclosures. They wanted to know about our particular zip codes, and so we were able to discuss that. And there will be a story on the AP Wire concerning Homestead and how it's affected Homestead. And, quite frankly, we know that we're impacted and we know that we're affected, because you can't be the fastest growing city in the nation and not be heavily impacted. You have to be heavily impacted. But on the converse, I always am standing there ready and able to give them the good news. And so every time that I'm going to be meeting with anybody from the press, I hand them what's happening on the commercial area. And so 2 pages of what's happening commercially in the city of Homestead. And they're really interested in that as well. Also, in April, next month, there's a show on the Weather Channel called Storm Stories, and so the City of Homestead, I did about 20 minutes or so on camera, and the City of Homestead is going to be featured in Storm Stories in April. So look for that on the Weather Channel. It's very exciting. Also, they called Lillian Delgado, our Public Information Officer, back, that they loved the story so much about Homestead and the hurricane and everything, that they want to come back and do another interview with me on Homestead and Hurricane Andrew, and they want to make it a big feature on the City of Homestead. So I'm very excited about that, and I'm going to be interviewing with them on Monday. So that's very exciting. Also, I wanted to let everybody know that every second Sunday in the city of Homestead, we have antique cars on Chrome Avenue, and it's called Chrome Avenue Cruise-In. And so not only do we have the music in the park, and we have a lot happening in the city of Homestead at Losner Park, where we're having events, minimum events twice a month. We want to encourage our residents to know about these items, and I want to thank the manager for bringing the Chrome Avenue Cruise-In to Chrome Avenue. It's really nice, and it's a great event. Thank you, Robert. I know you had a lot to do with it as well, and we love it. There's something happening on Chrome Avenue a lot, and that's why I want to make that the real shady community. I want to make that so beautiful. Also, I went to the Haitian Organization of Women dinner where they were featuring women and honoring women, and it was a very, very lovely event. And I also took a tour of the Sunrise. There's Sunrise homes, and then there's Sunrise facilities where they educate and rehabilitate mentally challenged and physically challenged people. And you should see this. You know how you go into, whether it's a restaurant or you go and there's an event, and you see all the forks and napkins and everything, they're all wrapped up in cellophane, and then the napkins inside. Well, they assemble these, and some of them are blind, some of them are very challenged, and you should see how they assemble them with their gloves on, and they're very mentally challenged, and they're able to work and earn money, and at the same time be a benefit to the community. So I would encourage the council to take that tour like I did with Sunrise, and I did tell them that I would pass the word on their great work that they do. Also, we did bring a proclamation on behalf of the City of Homestead to Air Base Elementary for their 50th anniversary, and that school was actually created for the Air Force Base. And in fact, their earliest principals were colonels in the military, so they were military principals. So I bet that's still a tight school. And we were also able to mention that Patricia Faircloth, Councilman Melvin McCormick's fiance, is the Teacher of the Year, and so that wasn't necessarily in the proclamation, but I kind of added it in there anyway. So we're very, very pleased about that. So again, Councilwoman McCormick, congratulations to Patricia, and we're going to bring her to council as well. Now, under reappointments, under the General Employees Pension Board, I would like to reappoint Stephen L. Anderson, and I'll entertain a motion to that effect.
I'll move. Second it.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any comments, questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. And I wanted to announce that we have a board committee opening for the Homestead Community Image Advisory Board, which is the Vice Mayor's Board, and we want to advertise that. Anybody that's interested, please contact our clerk, Sheila Shedd, for an application, and we'd love to have you. Thank you very much for coming out here tonight, and with no further business to attend to, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you and good night.